Will never trouble you. Hey, Dozer! I got my dog with me. I hate a moral coward, one who likes a manly spark. I just obsessed a man afraid to go home in the dark. I always spend my evening where there's women, wine, and song. Like a man, I always leave a little wife along. I remember in a midnight crew. I'm an idle and a wise bird too. Home with the milk in the morning, singing the same old song. Rise with the moon, go to bed with the sun. Early to bed and in the sun. Think your wife and Dominic will never trouble you. Make her remember the midnight crew. Fun doesn't stop till the rain. Down the back of the day. I'm over mine. Do I Midnight Crew. Ba 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 ba. Hello?
Hey.
Hello?
Hey, Cap.
What's up?
How you doing?
I'm doing the pre-stream right now while I wait for everyone to get here.
Alrighty then.
Yeah. Because I am live streaming this one too.
I gotcha. I'll mute if I get interrupted, so don't worry.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, I've been looking at like my old Magic the Gathering decks for to like ask dear old Chalkfee about what sort of thing I'm gonna go for. And right now, I might be a monk. I might be a monk for this new campaign.
Interesting.
I'm just saying. I mean,
Wait,
I tried
you mean for my next campaign or for Chalkfee's thing?
Chalkface for
Oh,
Chalkface.
okay.
Because here's the thing. Here's the weird thing about me with monk. I tried monk before, but the character I was going for with it wasn't fitting, so I switched over to barbarian for like this was during like Bev's D&D things.
Whose?
Bev's.
Oh, right.
Yeah, like well, even though it wasn't Bev's, I think it was I forget their name. They were the
Shade,
Tiefling.
Shade.
Yeah, Shades campaign. Yeah.
Yeah. Bev did express interest in my next campaign, so I think they might be joining
It
my next campaign, which is
it.
gonna be fun.
Wait, are they going to try to bring back their Tiefling captain?
Salem? I,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's still probably a few months away until, like, it's at least a few months away until my next session, depending on how fast you get through this, the final arc.
Oh man, Fortuna's in the middle of like a Magic the Gathering right now.
Bah.
Like, okay, but seriously though, like, you know about like the Magic the Gathering clan?
No, I really don't. I'm not that big into Magic the Gathering. Like I played the Xbox 360 game, and I did have a red deck and a black deck, but never actually got to play IRL with anyone. I only ever played the Xbox 360 Magic the Gathering game.
Okay,
Like I know enough to be able to play, but I don't know anything about the lore.
all right. So yeah, here was the thing. Like, when I said I played monk before, this was for like my character Quillo
Oh yeah.
before I retconned it into him being a barbarian.
Well, I mean, is it really a retcon if like I mean that campaign only lasts like two.
So I should have done for like the other replacement. It was like, okay, I'm bringing back Quillo, but this time he's gonna be a barbarian.
All right.
And I was trying to do the whole thing about like this lizard man being like someone who was like, oh yeah,
Oh,
like he's running away from
we
like
got
his group
we got a
because of
couple of
like
viewers. I wanted to do a basic like what the story so far sort of thing during the pre-stream, so that
go yeah. You can
so
go ahead and do that.
all right. Well, so yeah, the campaign started with three characters meeting in a tavern, and they were paid by some rich asshole to essentially get a box of his back that had a powerful artifact in it. Turns out the artifact was a fake, and he ended up dying when he tried to use it. And they ended up getting picked up by a organization. Hey, Osagi. They ended up getting picked up like by an organization tasked with retrieving these artifacts, which are in the shape of jeweled apples. So, in their next mission, they had to solve a murder to retrieve another fake. It was turned out that it was the tavern owner, and he was using the fake to turn people into precious stones and metals to melt down, which was really fucked up. And so then they went to Vegas. It was called Goldhaven, but Fantasy Vegas. And then after that, they went on Neverwinter's Got Talent. And then they finally got their first one in on some isles, which the person was using. It was a citrine apple, an orange jeweled apple that had powerful transmutation. And the person who was using it was turning people into animals. His name was Moreau. He was an elf warlock. Hey, Scraps. Hey, Scraps, I was so tempted to call this pre-ND, because it's the pre-stream right now. Anywho, on the Isle of
Snobby.
Moreau, on the Isle of Moreau, they fought this elf warlock who was using the transmutation powers to turn people into animals and basically make them be under his control. They killed him. And they thought they had killed the dragon, which he had as a personal pet. Spoilers, he comes back later. So after that, their next mission was to go to a desert. Quote unquote desert.
Hello?
It was called the Badlands, and it was a ringed desert, like a
Oh,
desert separated into
okay.
rings going to the center.
Silver's doing a like the story so far of like our campaign to like the viewers over here on the live stream.
Yeah, just so they're not lost.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they went and did the desert. It was separated into three sections: frost, fire, and lightning. They almost died in the frost section because they couldn't get out of the snow. Uh,
Yeah.
and they ended up facing against a drow sorceress, and they she commanded a colossus known as the Empress. It was a colossus that was a humanoid torso with a snake-like tail, and it was imbued with her power of evocation that she got from the ruby apple. Once they got that, their next stop was Post Shelley Park, which is a spooky haunted house. Think like amusement park haunted house in the middle of a spooky forest. And there they learned that the gimmick was that they had a set number of lives. And they fought a ghost train powered by the souls of the damned. And they killed Posheli, who was a halfling necromancer. And then, when they brought the apple back to what they had called the community started getting attacked by something in the abyss. And shit was fucked. They had to run and evacuate. And when they were escaping, they blacked out and woke up in a place called Andor. Well, no, first they woke up in a place they called Nowhere, where they met this albino wizard, and he has amnesia, and they were tasked with figuring out who the fuck he was. Then they woke up in Andor once they woke up for real, and they met this farmer named Steven with a PH, and turns out he was a really powerful wizard. He gave them a lift to Neverwinter, where they met Lady Diana Archer, and while they were there, they encountered a dwarf whose wife had been killed by the murderer in Phandalin, the tavern owner I mentioned earlier. And he blames the players because they did not stick around to tell the cops. They just ran after killing They ran out of town after killing the tavern owner, which made them look like the guilty ones. Anywho, during a fight, the dwarf's tiefling stepson, son of the late wife, ended up using a shield spell, which a really powerful one, which outed himself as the abjuration apple user. And when he panicked, he created a a bubble that completely disconnected the entirety of Neverwinter from the rest of the planar system, which resulted in a dead magic zone. And this caused something underneath Neverwinter to escape some bonds. It was a colossus known as the World. It's the colossus that they faced in the last session. It was a giant colossus, which when they finally managed to pop the bubble, they did meet the Usurper King back in Neverwinter. He was there on a diplomatic mission, and they met him. They thought he was fairly charismatic, and they didn't know who he was because of doubles. He pulled a Padme and had a double posing as the real him. And so they had he used his conjuration powers to essentially kidnap the Colossus, which they had apparently forgotten about until last session. Anywho, once all that shit happened, Deve's son and love interest were in trouble at the same time. Like the dwarf had captured Deve's son because to try and kill him as like some sort of revenge, because he thought that they had killed the tiefling, when really they had just used some cloth from a reaper they encountered earlier to eject the soul, basically, temporarily. So they did, in a sense, kill him, only temporarily, though. Anywho, at the same time, the Deve's love interest killed the fake Usurper King and was being dragged through a portal, was quickly captured and being dragged through a portal by Deve's uncle, who is evil. So then Deve was forced to choose one, and he chose his son. And then they later went on a rescue mission to save the love interest. And then later on, they went to an island. They went back to the same set of isles as Moreau's Island, but they went to a different specific island. And they found Stephen, who had been kidnapped at some point before the Colossus attack of Neverwinter. And let's see, there they found that Stephen was actually a homunculus. Stephen was a homunculus. He was created as an illusion who eventually became real. He was based off an actual wizard named Stephen, who was the apprentice of the illusion apple user. And he had an evil counterpart who was also created with illusions, blah, 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 evil clone, a tournament to where the winner gets their life force sucked out. And so Fortuna met her father there, and he ended up sacrificing himself to keep her from getting her soul sucked out because she rolled a nat 1 to avoid it. And let's see, what else am I forgetting? Stephen ended up merging consciousness with his evil self to become whole again, essentially. Hey, I'm just doing the story so far.
Okay.
Let's see. After they rescued Stephen, they went back to Faerun, and they learned that big plot twist: the villains of the next arc turned out to be Deve's uncle and father, and they spent about half of a year in real time in real IRL, half a year's worth of sessions, completing that, hunting down and killing Deve's uncle and father, and then killing the usurper, And then when they finally killed the usurper, they got the final apple. They got all the apples. All the apples were placed back in the place where they needed to go, and they were about to do the ritual to summon the Gaia to make the wish when a light pulled them all through a portal where they woke up at the end of the last session and figured out pretty quickly that they are in the past. And that is a brief summary of the last 2 years worth of campaign.
Oh boy.
All right. So now we're just waiting for Chalkfee. All right.
Yep.
So yeah, that's just a brief summary of all the shit that's. Listen, it is very hard to condense. It is very hard to condense 2 years worth of campaign shenanigans into like a 5-minute explanation.
I'd assume.
Yeah.
So I did float my D20.
Oh no, is it weighted?
It's a little weighted.
Oh, what number?
Like, weirdly enough, when I float it, it's like way biased towards like 20 and 13, which is like on the other side, which is weird. It's like 20, 18, and 13 were the biases. But when I roll it, it's like that's an 18, that's a 12, a 20.
Yeah, 2 out of 3.
Like, you know that like last time I rolled it a whole bunch, I kept getting like everything below 10.
Oh, this is gonna be my first time using my new dice.
Hell yeah! These
Fuck
them
yeah.
cool ass cloudy dice.
Oh no, yeah. Hey, calm down, Dozer. Sorry, dogs. Yeah, let me
Those
show.
are the bows.
Let me, Dozer, calm down. Hey, my brother.
Purpose.
My brother's got the other dog outside who's barking a lot. Let me pull up. Let's see. Save images. Yeah, downloads. Let me show my favorite dice.
5.
Yeah, let me show my favorite dice on this dice, it's a D8. It is really beautiful. It is very beautiful.
Are you showing it in the stream or in the Discord?
Well, I'm showing it in stream. You've seen it. I'll post it in Discord. But yeah, it's really beautiful.
I'd just say because, as you know, I'm very lame.
Fit to screen.
Oh yeah, that one.
I call it red glare. It's a beautiful teal and red.
By the way, I looked it up. That is a Chessex dice.
Yeah, you said that. We were trying to find a complete set. These were from the junk dice jar. Yeah, it was a jar full of dice, 35 cents each. It was amazing.
Oh, that's a steal.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, it's all reject dice.
Yeah, but there were a few nice ones. Like, I think we got a couple good D20s. I got that beautiful D8. There were some D4s. What else did Jesus. I have so many dice. I got a beautiful D4. Oh shit. You know that?
Oh yeah, that nice one?
Yeah, it turns out it's actually slightly transparent.
Ooh.
Yeah. I also got a really beautiful D6 and a D12. They're all the same. Like the D6, D4, and D12 are all from the same Oh yeah, and a D8 to match it. So I've got almost a complete set. If I found the D10 and a D20 of the same, then I would have had a complete set of it.
Mm.
Unfortunately,
Oh well.
yeah. I also got these beautiful ones that at first they look black, but then when you look at them in the light, turns out they're see-through. It is amazing.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. She got those at the game store that I go to for Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely have those around.
Oh jeez. Yeah, I was looking for a set of clear dice so that I could make sure there's not any imperfections.
Boobles.
Yeah, boobles.
And I don't want no boobs in my dice.
No, only in the chest.
I got that.
Yeah.
I understood that reference.
Speaking of which, I should definitely order a mimic dice bag. Those things are adorable.
What was that? What's a?
It's a dice bag that looks like a mimic.
Wow, Mommy wants to.
Oh, okay. I'll be right.
Mimic dice bags. Damn it. Did Chalkfee say how long it'll be before they go? Before they're here?
They just said they were in the middle of Magic the Gathering.
Okay.
I really need to think about what character I want to do for that campaign if it's done.
Chalkfees?
Yeah, the Magic the Gathering one.
Oh. I'm gonna pass on it.
Because-
I'm not big on Magic the Gathering. It just sail over my head.
I mean, you could go in for one session, see how it feels.
Eh.
That's the thing about it. It's you don't have to know what's going on. You just need to know how to the basics of playing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really not a big fan of Magic the Gathering.
Oh, dang.
I've played it. Yeah, I've played it. I played the Xbox version. But it's
It's a lot better when you play it in real life.
no. I like the Xbox version, but I don't know. I just don't really have any interest in playing it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not my cup of tea.
Well, then we're gonna have to find something else to do while we wait for our minis to dry. Because if I don't have to lug that thing around again, I won't.
We could paint them at the bowling alley.
I don't know if they'll let you paint it at the bowling alley.
We can call and find out.
I mean, I could, but that's it's a whole spill risk.
Yeah, because if you, oh god, yeah, no, that shit would not come out easy.
No, it won't. That's fucking acrylic paint.
Jesus, that's almost as bad as latex paint.
If you want to get enamel paints, the hobby store I go to has that.
I'm fine with acrylic paint.
I know, I'm just saying that the other store that I go to has a way wider selection of paint.
Yeah.
They have enamel and acrylic.
Eh.
Because it's a hobby store and it's not not just games. It's they've got paint for painting model trains and shit.
Model boats in bottles. Ooh, that'd be a good idea for a magic item. A magic bottle that can steal boats.
Yeah, but how do you get the boat out? Do you just shatter the glass and then there's a boat?
Well, that's the first question is how do they get the boat inside? The second question is how do they get the boat out?
That's gonna be some pretty. That's gonna take some pretty good Arcana rolls.
Oh yeah. If you disable magic, is that going to cause the boat to suddenly get really big, or is that going to cause the boat to permanently be small? I think that's one of my best, or I think that's one of the best jokes in Parks and Rec when Andy manages to get the boat out of the bottle. Like it's done entirely off screen. Like he walks into a lawyer's office or something and sees the ship in the bottle. And he's like, "Whoa! How did you get that in there?" And then the person he's with starts talking to the lawyer. Then shortly before they leave, they're like, "I figured out how to get it out." And he's holding this full-size ship still intact. And in one hand, and then the bottle, an empty bottle, in the other. It's completely intact. Completely intact. It is fucking hilarious. 'Cause it's just,
oh man,
it's just so absurd.
But yeah, if we need other shades of purple, we know where to get it.
Yep. Let me
Just
show you.
1 minute.
And I can show you all of the Gundams. And force my hobbies on my friends.
Check out the meme. Check out the memes.
Shit, my Discord's taking forever.
Rip and piss.
Hold on, let me try to get it. Let me do it on my phone then. Boop deep dee, stupid meme. It's smaller than I expected.
Yeah, it's smaller than I remember too, but it's still funny.
Oh yeah.
Because it's still bigger than the opening of the bottle.
Pratt excels more in comedy than serious action.
What?
Chris Pratt, he's the guy who plays Andy.
Yeah. I think he does good at both.
He's
Guardians
good
of the
at
Galaxy,
both.
for example.
I feel like he's better at comedy.
Oh yeah, definitely. Some of the I fucking love the bloopers of Guardian of the Galaxy. Like when he does the dance off and Ronan just fucking joins him.
Yeah,
That's fucking hilarious.
That was a great mid-credit scene.
Yeah, I love I fucking love him as Star-Lord.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I like. Okay, I don't like how Marvel Cinematic ended up but I do like that they use some of the less mainstream characters. I fucking love that they got Ego the Living Planet.
Oh my god!
I knew
Man.
I knew it was Ego the moment he said his name. When he said my name is Ego, I was like, Ego the Living Planet? That Ego? Holy fuck, this is gonna be awesome. I love Ego the Living Planet, and I'm glad he was brought into the mainstream.
Oh yeah, did they announce they're doing a fucking Nighthawk movie?
Are they doing a Nighthawk movie?
I'm pretty it might be Disney Plus exclusive, but I'm pretty sure they're doing a Nighthawk movie.
They're doing something Nighthawk related, yeah. Not particularly.
Nighthawk Marvel.
I know the next thing they're working on is Loki movie. I'm excited for that.
I think that's gonna be a mini-series.
Yeah, the miniseries. Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Man, I'm just glad that one of my friends one of my friends in my other D&D group messed up on getting a Disney Plus trial. So instead of having a trial, he accidentally paid for a full year.
Rip.
Wait, how do
He
you do that?
he clicked the button and it went from trial to full year.
I can't find any
Oh.
news on a Nighthawk movie.
Oh well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No more Jeff
So
Goldblum.
He said he did that and he was like, hey, anybody want some free Disney?
Oh
So
my
now we
goodness.
have. Let me get into the app, see how many people are on it, because we all have different profiles. Jeez. And I've barely used it. Okay, so there's me, him, Pin, Maxi, and I think that's
So 4
Ava?
altogether.
But yeah. My other D&D group has, like, a lot of artists in it. Like, it's 3 artists, a writer, and me.
Yeah,
And all of them are DMs except for me. I am the eternal player.
Ah, that's
I
better
will
than
do.
being the eternal DM.
Yeah, like we're on like a weekly rotation
Oh, Chuckfee, you here?
every Saturday.
Chuckfee?
Everybody's getting fucked.
What? Try reconnecting.
Hello?
Hey, I can hear you.
Hello.
The fucking wifey was fucking with me.
The Wiffy?
The wifey.
Bill Y the Science Fi?
That was actually the name of one of my Wi-Fi's for a while.
At least it's not
The
the
password
fucking...
was science rules.
Alright, let me ping Dave and we can, get, started.
At least it wasn't, fucking another FBI surveillance van, because everybody does that joke.
I would have just made inconspicuous, flower, truck. Inconspicuous flower truck.
Yeah. My current Wi-Fi's are default name, super secret Wi-Fi, shush,
My
and other Wi-Fi.
my Wi-Fi is named after my favorite Dungeons and Dragons deity.
What's that?
Guess.
Caps one.
Tiamat.
No.
Bahamut.
No.
Null.
An
No.
actual gun.
No.
Just a straight up gun.
It's not gonna be the one that I gave you.
Yeah,
No.
no, it's not.
I know, it's one of the fucking ones. Those are the ones you use the most fucking often.
It's Istis.
Oh.
Istis is still present in.
Stew?
She's the goddess of fate. She's the one that weaves the tapestry of fate. She's the one that the players fucking work for.
Oh.
Only technically.
Yeah, she's the one that saved your asses from getting taken by the Reapers that one time.
Only technically. She doesn't pay our paychecks.
I mean, she kind of does. Lynn is a cleric of Istis.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean Istis pays our paychecks.
Istis is the patron deity of the coast.
Well, that doesn't matter anymore now, does it? Shut up.
I personally like Lady Istis. Like, she is my favorite.
I like the Raven Queen.
Yeah, too bad you pissed her off by fucking crashing
That
her
wasn't
poker
our
night.
fault. Huh? What did we do?
You crashed her poker night, remember?
Oh, that wasn't
Oof.
my fault. Just because I wanted to fuck some gods.
Oh yeah, you did try to flirt with her.
And Istis.
Yes. Technically
And-
speaking,
The other two. Who were the gods that were there? There were two gods.
Orcus and
Joaquin.
No, Tamora.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Tamora.
I don't know who these people are.
Tamora is a deity of luck.
I'm a
The casino
Falcar.
the casino
Deity of
you
luck.
went the casino you went to in Goldhaven was Tamora's palace. It was a casino that doubled as a place of worship for her.
And what's Fortuna's deity again?
I don't know.
Do you know any of your
Something.
players' deities?
Well, I know Deeves.
What's that?
Io. It started out with Bahamut, then started leaning towards Tiamat, and then ultimately settled on Io.
Bahamut's alright.
Io,
playing
He's
Smash
kind of a
Brothers.
pretentious asshole.
Io is the father of Bahamut, Tiamat, and Null.
Yeah.
Bahamut's kind of pretentious.
Eyeballs.
Bahamut's pretentious, Tiamat's a bitch, and Null is just like...
Null is there.
In regular D&D lore, Bahamut it was the primordial who split Eber and Torel, also named Asgaroth. Asgaroth. That's what his name was. However,
Fuck.
in my campaign, it's already been established that when Asgaroth did the split, he sacrificed himself and split into two beings, Io and Seelie. So, in my campaign, Io is not the same as Asgaroth.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Fuck my eyes. Why do they burn?
Did you put Tabasco in your eyes again?
No, I've never done that. The only time I've gotten hot sauce in my eye was sriracha.
Okay, it may have been Sriracha I was thinking of.
Sriracha is slightly better than Tabasco.
Oh, it's way better.
But neither are that good, because they're both fucking vinegar-based hot sauces, which are awful.
I love vinegar.
I don't.
Vinegar-based hot sauces.
I will drink vinegar.
Ew!
So will I.
Oh dear.
Apple cider
I'm gonna
vinegar
do it
is
right
actually
now.
kinda tasty. I used to use that as my hair product. Apple cider vinegar. I used to put that in my hair.
Rice vinegar. Rice vinegar is pretty good.
How do you change your mood in how do you change...
Well, you take a bunch of drugs.
No, I'm talking about... Okay, there we go.
That's one way.
How do you change your mood? Well, you take some drugs.
God.
So
Well,
about
what
this
you do is you
MTG
click
idea I
click
had,
the button.
It turns out
Okay.
I could make MTG work through Roll20. So
Oh.
How? That's
there
interesting.
is that.
Oh yeah, because it's got cards. It has card
Yes.
compatibility.
It does require me to upload a picture for every land. Which is
This
annoying.
is true. And you will also need to upload a picture for every card.
I,
But if they're different cards, it makes more sense than when it's one card that I have to upload 15 times. Or well,
Just get
no,
a
it
whole
was-
bunch of different lands
8.
from different sets.
Well, no, I wanted it to be specific for the correct lands.
Oh,
put
you
the
want the lands
forests-
from the current... You want lands from where
no,
the players are.
Yeah, so the forests that were in the deck I was playtesting were forests from the the Dominaria set.
Dominaria.
Because I was playtesting a character who was from Llanowar.
Mmm.
A Llanowar
I
elf.
loved
Llanowar
Dominaria.
tribe.
It's just the best set.
Llanowar
ever.
elves are fun. They can-
Okay, so
They are mana dorks.
when I was at the Beyond Theros Beyond Death pre-release,
I couldn't go to that because it was fucking Thursday here.
I went to the Friday one.
It was last week and Thursday here.
Last week? No, the
the
pre-release was
release.
2 weeks ago.
The
Pre-release.
was last week or whatever.
I'm talking
Whatever.
about the
It was fucking
pre-release.
Thursday.
Okay,
Whatever it was Thursday. So I had to play
But
the
yeah.
stupid game instead.
so What happened was at the pre-release where you get the box.
Somebody's
Get the
box got it.
I got that box, built myself a green-black deck with what I had, and
You stuck it in somebody's box.
I lost my first round,
Mm-hmm.
but I won my second round by default.
Why default?
My opponent had skipped out for food.
Well,
But so, like, what happened
That usually
was...
gets the job done.
I mean that's a noof, but I mean
He
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah,
If I were
but, like,
you.
so what happened was the owner of the store, who Silver met,
Oh yeah.
he was the guy behind the counter.
Yeah.
So he has this deck that he plays every now and then. It is an elf deck. Lots of lots of Llanowar elves. And the big idea of it is that at some point he draws a card that lets him turn his lands, all of his lands, into 3/3 creatures with like indestructible and trample
Oh yeah.
and all of that on it.
There's a sorcery. I think there's a sorcery that does that. Yeah.
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 So like that's like the big trump card of the deck. If you survive that, like if you have to pretty much beat him before that happens,
What,
because by that
format?
point
It's Exodia.
What format is that?
I don't know the format, but it was a 60 card deck versus my 40 card deck.
Oh, hey, speaking of, when I went to go visit Biddy, we saw the left leg and the head of Exodia.
Who cares?
I care!
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Exodia's
I played
awesome.
Yu-Gi-Oh when I was a kid. It was boring. People stole my cards.
I believe that's called losing in Duel City.
Not
When
when
I
they
was a
just
kid,
grab your fucking cards from
When
you
I was
and,
in
like,
kindergarten.
rip them up and throw them in the trash.
Oh, I believe that's called, I believe that's called pulling a weevil.
yeah,
No, except you have
that's
to
a
do
Weevil
that.
mood.
Yeah, that's a
Isn't
weevil
that what
move.
fucking Kaiba did in the beginning?
No, Kaiba.
yes.
Okay, Kaiba. Okay, but Kaiba was doing it for a stupid reason. His reason was that was the
There are
fourth.
4 of these. Let me get rid of the 4th one.
Yeah, let me get rid of the
Yeah.
fourth one so they can never be used against me. And as Lil Creebo put it best, well, why don't you just steal all the cards and rip them? That way they can't be used either. Like,
That was...
but
And now we'll never know what
Weevil-
a fusion of 4 of them looks like.
is there even a card for the Fusion of 4?
I do not know.
But yeah, no, Weevil stole Exodia, like just the Exodia ones, and ripped them up and threw them over the.
I don't think he ripped them up. He just
Oh, he didn't. He just.
threw them.
Oh, he just.
One of my favorite book series when I was a kid, which was really, really dumb, but I liked it, was called The Amazing Adventures of Ordinary Boy, I think.
What? I have to look this up.
It was like a superhero graphic novel, I think. Can't remember which it was. And the whole point was that the main character had no superpowers in a city full of everybody having superpowers.
Oh, that's not.
Amazing.
Oh my guys, My Hero Academia.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
And yeah, but like a decade before, and like US, which kind of describes a lot of anime.
Oh my God, it's Sky High.
Oh my god, it literally is sky high.
Anyway, it was a good comic. Anyway, so the funny thing was that the second one, right? The second book was about maybe the third. It wasn't the first one, but one of the. I don't think it was the first one, but I think it was the second one.
What did it do?
The thing was that they all were into a trading card thing, but I don't think it was a trading card game. I think they were like baseball cards for superheroes, right? And so the really rare ones were like everybody's favorite superhero, which is basically the universe's Superman. But then there was one card that was only printed like once and slipped into packs without permission, and it was that superhero's old sidekick from when he was younger that everybody has forgotten because the superhero regrets having lost the sidekick on a mission.
Oh no.
And what happens is the main character and his group of friends get that card, and nobody believes them that it's a real card for a while, but then they realize that it's rare and shit. And so that like all happens, but then somebody like counterfeits thousands of them and like scatters them around the city. So everybody now has that card. That's supposed to be super rare. And then at the very end of the book, the main characters collect every other one of that card and burn them. Except for the original.
Why?
Well,
because it had a lot of value. Of course he wants to keep at all costs.
Because the rest are all fake, and they're proud of having the only one.
Yeah.
And these are the good guys' main characters.
Makes sense to me.
Anyway, it was a fun story.
Does.
I remember at one point the main character posits one time he posits that he doesn't have superpowers because his father has like fire powers and his mom has ice powers.
So he should be Todoroki.
Yeah, and then he also theorizes that they all have superpowers because they all eat too many potato chips.
How can you? Okay, so is he against potato chips?
Dumb.
I mean, unless the potato chips have like chemical X in them.
That was the thing though. The joke was that like the entire city had like its own potato chips and everybody ate like lots and lots of them.
Hey, maybe the real villain was the person selling the potato chips. Maybe the real villain was capitalism.
Maybe the real villain was like their version of the cabbage seller.
My cabbages!
How to find the avatar.
Step 1.
Heart full of cabbages.
Exactly. Man, it's...
Step 2. Wait.
You know, it really sucks. After if I'm trying to remember, I think this is correct, but the cabbage seller was not seen after the Tales of Ba Sing Se. That was his last appearance in Tales of Ba Sing Se when Aang released all the animals from the zoo so he could transport them to a bigger zoo, but he didn't have the bigger zoo made yet. And the
the
kangaroo.
The sequel series.
Well, no, that was his son with Cabbage Corp. But what I'm saying is, when the kangaroo rabbit thing was eating his cabbages, he was like, "My cabbage, I give up." Like that was his last moment.
That was his breaking point.
Yeah, that was
he didn't have any money left.
Yeah, he took what he had and made an industrial company that he named after his crushed dreams. And later on, that company was framed for building weapons for terrorists.
That's hilarious.
Oh my god!
And depressing.
No, but,
I like to call it deprarious.
There was like
he
this
can't
Facebook
catch a break.
Post. There's like this Facebook post where it's just like says step 1, set up a cabbage stand. Step 2, wait. This is how you summon the avatar, and it's just like the cabbage cart guy had way more. Was way better at finding the avatar than
fucking Zuko.
Than Zuko did in 3 years.
Yeah.
Rip.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
It really
It's
is.
a good universe.
It is.
It was good world building.
Yeah.
All right. I just had to take a phone call.
All right, can you poke Dave and see when they're, because they said 5 to 10 minutes, and that was about 15 minutes ago.
Maybe.
So about
plus
magic systems, I have a question for you.
What?
What do you think of a magic system based on what your name is?
Oh man, that do they change their names based on their magic, or when they're born, they're give their name?
They have a naming ceremony after they're born, and then they get their powers when they are named.
Okay, so
That sounds neat.
yeah, would it be like? Do they know that naming determines the power,
It's maybe, I don't know.
or is it just like a coincidence that nobody ever
It
thinks of?
depends on the society, because there would be several societies, each of which have different naming conventions that create different types of powers based on the naming conventions.
All right.
For example, one society, everybody's name would be a color, right? And the color would determine what kind of powers you have.
all right.
But then in another society, your name would be like an animal,
yeah.
and
So
that would be the thing.
yeah. So like someone who's someone whose name was like just spitballing here, but like Rainbow Dash would be rainbow themed and be really fast.
Shush.
Okay, but how does Pinkie Pie factor into
Look,
party?
normative determinism doesn't always happen in My Little Pony.
I know.
Just usually does.
Yeah, and also
It's just most often.
What does Starlight Glimmer have to do with kites?
what? Oh,
Her
right.
special talent is
Exactly.
probably actually kites.
I think
People
that
have theorized that her special talent is kites because her cutie mark looks like a kite and she really likes kites. And it makes a lot of sense because she's actually not that good at magic.
she's really good at magic. She's just really bad at
she's
planning.
Horrible. No, she's horrible at magic. She's good at doing magic.
Okay, but when have we ever seen Lyra play a liar?
About twice?
Yeah.
I haven't
Sometimes
seen it.
during the original.
But there are the episode where they learned about the origins
Look,
of
at least her cutie mark
oh,
doesn't
oh,
mean she's a lesbian.
hold
okay?
on. The thing is though
Wait, what?
they also changed their names to match their cutie like remember
No, they don't.
yeah, Mrs. Cakes, her name was not related to Cakes until Applejack's
She
mom
got married.
no yeah and
Until she got married.
yeah she didn't
After she got her cutie mark.
yeah it, like
And her original name was
uh
Chiffon Swirl.
yeah
I don't know why that got turned into Cupcake, but whatever.
yeah she named herself after her cutie mark.
Now, here's the question.
Weird.
Who takes whose last name when it's Rainbow Dash and Applejack?
Obviously they have an arm wrestle for it.
Obviously,
They
the last
probably
name is
would.
Apple.
Yeah, probably.
It's so wild that Applejack's full name is Applejack Apple's Apple.
That's a lot of apples.
Fuck
Yeah,
you, I
has-
can't
has
eat all these
apples on
apples. Applejack's Apple's Apple.
I like Applejack. She's fun. I like the Apple family.
I am
Especially if you
very
include the
out of
Pie
the
family.
loop on My Little Pony. I kind of
They're
stopped watching
officially
after like
Living together.
season 3.
Yeah,
Okay, so the show is done now.
Yeah, I know. It's on
And
season
at the
9.
end, Rainbow Dash and Applejack officially live together
hey, Gabby, did you ever poke
in the
Dave
future.
Yeah.
on Facebook?
And let's see, what
Yeah,
else
no
happened?
response.
I think I remember
was
hearing
here
that Pinkie
too,
Pie
so, like,
and
really
Oh yeah,
confused.
Pinkie
Cheese
Pie.
sandwich get
Yeah,
together.
Pinkie Pie and Weird Al fuck.
Yes, and their like offspring is adorable.
Mm-hmm. I think. Hold on.
okay, but
hold
does,
on. Hold
does
on.
Cheese
Hey,
Sandwich get a speaking role,
hold on.
Once,
or is
in
he
the last
just
season.
there?
Okay.
Not in the last episode, but
Hey.
in the last season he does.
Hey, I think that we should probably just move along
We
and
can't start now. We can't start this particular session without all the people because of the situation.
We can have Dave be unconscious until they get in.
He said 10 minutes
When did he say 10 minutes?
just now.
All right, 10 more minutes. Luckily,
Okay, so- anyway.
I'm going to break up the pre-stream and the mainstream. So
What do you
Yeah,
think?
that's
Okay,
that's a good idea.
would it be cool to have like the magical ability that everybody gets a fucking tattoo when they figure out what they're supposed to do for the rest of their life? Because I think that would actually be kind of useful.
It would.
You would say that.
But would it
But-
have to be on your ass? 'Cause I would
Yes.
prefer it to be like on my shoulder or something.
Nope. Got to get that tramp stamp.
It's not even a tramp stamp though. It's on the ass cheek.
Got to get the ass mark.
The ass mark.
Wait,
Gotta have the
who's
ass
that
mark.
one? Who's that one Griffin that joined
Gilda.
the Crusaders?
Oh wait, no.
Claudina? No.
Yeah, I want to be her.
What's her face?
G something. They
Well,
all
I-
start with G.
I just remember that.
Fuck,
like,
they
in the-
do.
Does Gabriella.
Oh wow, that actually goes with mine. Holy shit.
Yeah,
Wait,
they do all start with G. How did I never pick up on that?
All
Wow.
of the Griffins'
all of
names
them.
start with G.
Oh,
Name me
I-
one
student-
Griffin from the show who does not start with G.
What is the student's name?
Gallus.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. Because the other person is Uncle Gruff, right? His name is Grandpa Gruff, who is the pseudo leader
Starts
of the
with a G.
Griffins. Yeah.
Double G. GG.
GG, my boys.
Good
Turns out
game.
he's an elite gamer. I don't know. The Griffins kind of seem sad as a species.
I would rather be Griffin.
Well, yeah, they don't.
Uh,
They don't have sugar like at all.
How sad.
True. They have no
Also,
sugar,
also
but
their
they're
entire
also capitalists.
yeah, and their
Gross.
and their entire kingdom is under a curse, and they fucking had the thing to break the curse, but ended up ditching it to save
It's
someone.
not. It wasn't actually a curse. They just thought they were under a curse.
They found the thing though.
But it wasn't a curse. It was just they lost a thing.
Yeah.
They had controlled the winds, but that's not that helpful. That's
It's
at
pretty
most they
damn
would've
helpful
controlled
when
the
you're a
winds. It was
flying
fucking-
society.
It was the fucking. What was the name? Was it Cup? No, it was Goblet. Goblet of Wind Guy.
Gale.
The
Boreas.
goblet.
Something of Boreas. I don't remember what it was called. Idol of Boreas, I think. It was Boreas because it lived in the Hyperborean mountains.
Mm.
Do you know the Greek mythology that they referenced in that episode?
Honestly, that like some of the later seasons were a blur.
How much later? Did you ever actually finish the show?
Yes, I finished it.
Good.
I haven't.
Do so.
Spike ends up looking like a dragon from Spyro.
Yeah. He does.
I do not. I really don't like his jawline.
Wait, which
Yeah.
Spyro though?
The first
Like-
one.
Like the old ones where the older dragons were fucking like anthro and weird looking.
Yeah. No, and like Spyro Reignited has those kinds.
Okay, I don't know. I've never played a Spyro game.
I streamed
Wait.
Spyro.
You know what I played for
I'm talking-
PS2?
I want to get
Taz
it.
Unleashed. That was my favorite game when I was a kid. Taz
Okay,
Unleashed.
I'm gonna post it in memes. Just imagine this, but purple and green. That's what Spike
I mean,
looks like.
You could post an actual picture. That's not a
No.
spoiler. Any more than saying it is. Do you think people will actually watch us?
There are 2 people watching us right now.
Fun.
Fun!
It's exciting.
Everybody
Or the-
loves when you do
No
things.
pressure.
My
So-
Little Pony. loses
It's
the
a
entire
trading card
audience.
game.
I think the thing that's most off-putting
I heard
about
it was a trading card
I think
There is.
the thing that's most off-putting about 50-year-old Spike is the eyes.
Why do you say 50-year-old?
Because let's see. Well, he was like 14 in the show.
Oh yeah, but the show only went for like a decade.
Well, yeah, the show
And
over the course of the show that was like 10 years.
yes,
Well, no, that was
just about
that was
exactly a decade.
actually it was about 5 years, and then the
No,
time
it was about 10 because the first 4 seasons were 1 year, but the last few seasons covered several years at once.
Okay. All right. So yeah, let's.
You can count by how many instances of hearth warming it was.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, so yeah, let's say that before the time skip, he was 24, and the time skip was like 30 years.
I don't know if the time skip was 30 years.
If
The
they're
students are still in school. I know they're like working there, but they're more like work-study students, not like teachers.
all right, let's say 20 years.
I
20
would say
works.
more closer to like
Maybe
15.
maybe 10,
15.
15.
Fine, we can settle on 15. It's half of what I assumed, but geez. Well,
Well, no, 'cause the student 6 are still at school.
yeah.
How long are they going to be working at that school? They have countries to lead.
Do they though? Only one of them does.
No, okay, which one?
The fucking hippocampus.
She's the only one that's not directly in the line for the throne.
That isn't her mom the no wait no
Her aunt is.
yeah that's what I was
She's
thinking.
the niece of the queen
Yeah
because they couldn't get the voice actress for the actual daughter.
yeah
Of course they couldn't,
right
Because it would have been fucking expensive. No, but like Yona is at least close enough with
Shit,
Prince Rutherford
I completely forgot about Yona.
be in line for the throne. Yeah, the Griffins barely have any system of government.
Yes.
If anyone is the ruler, then it's Grandpa Gruff, and Gallus could probably take over.
Okay, but anyone could take over. Like, whenever Grandpa Gruff is no
Fine.
longer fit to lead, they're probably gonna have a riot and a battle royale to see who's fit to lead next. Like, it's probably
Fan fiction material.
well, no, I mean the dragons
No,
do the
come
same
on, that would be
thing.
great fan fiction material.
Smolder
I
is
don't know.
Smolder's not at all in the line
Okay.
because the
No, but she is good at combat, and it is within Ember's authority to create a line of secession if she wants to.
but she's not going to do that. Like she
could.
has no plans of retiring in the millennia.
True.
She's gonna live forever or die trying.
To be fair, the last one lived for over 1,000 years. So.
Yeah.
But he wasn't.
And he's
He
still
wasn't king
alive.
for the whole time. Is he?
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
about
he
that.
was still alive in the time skip.
I don't know.
The one with the closest bit of chance, the only one with let's see.
Okay, Sandbar doesn't, obviously, but
Yeah,
that's because he's a boy in a weird matriarchal society that requires you to be very, very special. And he can't be the Princess of Friendship because Gallus is the one that is the element of friendship. It's pretty obvious.
I'm disappointed. I wish we got to see adult Flurry Heart.
Yeah, I don't know why we didn't.
Yeah,
I don't know why she didn't show up. Like, I figured she would have been a teenager.
I would have
the
loved.
Yeah,
kids were like
show
teenagers.
us Teen Flurry Heart.
I wanted to see Teen Flurry Heart getting into shenanigans with the Cake Twins because I think that
Here's
is
the question: how old were the Cake Twins by the end before the time skip? 'Cause they
Probably
must have
like 2.
yeah they were
no,
toddlers.
Several years passed by. You can
See-
count by how many specifically individual, white.
Do we see them in the time skip?
Yes.
No. Yes.
No. Yeah, we
What do
do.
they look like?
Uh,
old
They're
do they
running the
look?
cake shop.
yeah.
Okay, so they're adults.
Yeah. What are they before the time skip?
They were toddlers.
Fuck.
Yeah, but like
Either
They were
toddlers
still,
or like
treated as
just
babies
entering.
for like.
Well,
5,
that's
6
probably how
years.
Pony Society is.
Well, then how old was Apple Bloom when we started? Was she like 12 then?
Probably.
She was probably like 8.
She's probably like somewhere between 8 and 13.
No, because the Cake Twins were almost like that. Like we're about that old
But
by the end of the show.
See, that's why I don't. That's why I think it was maybe like between
No,
the.
because it specifically they reference each other in the time in sequential order. The time skips with the fucking Hearthwarming Eve.
No,
For example,
maybe
there's one in the end of the 8th season where the student 6 are like hanging out, and then there's the movie, which could be set at the same time, except you can see the student 6 going to home, which means it's another year.
So maybe it was only like 2 years between the first 4 seasons and the time and the end of this.
No, because there were several other ones.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, wasn't the whole
There
thing
was
about?
there were several. There were like at least 3 winters with starlight glimmer around.
Okay, but the
And then
thing
there were
is,
several
their
before her,
winter
too.
is magical. Like they can have winter at any point in time.
Look, this is
This
the
is
only way
true.
we can count the fucking years. So I have to assume
No,
they're
winter
years.
has its own, because summer has its, like,
Okay,
Look.
the summer sun celebration.
The
yeah,
winter
that's just
has
the longest.
Hearthwarming.
The summer sun celebration is just to celebrate the longest day of the year.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's not. It's more to celebrate. Well, it was
Yeah,
to
and
celebrate
the length of
Celestia and
time.
Luna and the fucking.
Oh yeah,
bullshit.
it was the anniversary of that.
And then after they got Luna back, it was the anniversary of reforming her.
Yeah,
Officially, that was the explanation of them continuing to do it. And then after the end of the show, they stopped doing it.
yeah.
And instead it became
The
a
last
holiday about.
the last one was
something
where they
else.
were announcing that they were stepping down.
Yeah, but then they had another holiday. Twilight was like, yeah, okay, I respect your decision, but I'm queen now, bitches. So we're going to have another holiday on this day that's going to celebrate you two, and you're going to shut up.
You
Yeah, that
are
is
going to
basically
be
what
revered as deities, and you are going to like it.
Pretty
You're a
much.
god now.
You don't have
Shut
a
up.
choice.
I should make that happen to Cap.
What? Make people.
You're a god now. Shut up. And then like Kazith is like, I don't want to be here anymore. Fuck this shit. And then like walks away.
Kazif just retires, gives all the godly powers to Cap.
He's just a dog again. He's just an immortal dog.
He's just
that
a
likes chewing on bones.
he's just a dog, but Cap thinks that she can hear him talk, but it's just another voice in her head that doesn't fucking. It's Pack. It's a residual Pack manipulating her. Woo! Everyone here.
appreciate it.
All right, Biddy
Yay!
leave.
Okay. Yeah,
Hello.
like,
Okay, now
I
I get
just
out
joined
of
them.
here.
All right, I'm
Aw. Goodbye, 8-bit.
later,
Yeah,
Biddy.
bye.
Stay in the
Goodbye.
stream. Stay in the stream. All right, so we're
I will.
All right, so we're actually starting now. I'm gonna stop the stream just for a moment, specifically so that I can separate the mainstream from
You
the.
can cut it out anyway if you want to.
like in post edit.
I do not have enough time to sift through all that shit, nor do I have proper editing software. I'm just gonna let Twitch edit it for me. All right.
Okay,
So
goodbye.
stay tuned. It'll just be a moment.